Notre Dame is number one.
Notre Dame with a miracle win as the
He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
The head coach of the Fighting Irish, Brian Kelly. Coach, I know you guys have moved on. It's Purdue, but we've spent much of this luncheon taking this crowd to Dublin. In your eyes at this point, could the entire trip have gone any better than it did?
No, I don't think so. I felt like our logistics and planning and, our director of operations, Chad Klunder, and Ryan Grooms and equipment, they did incredible things to get us in and out of there. We had a little help from some good friends of getting in and out of the airport as well, but it couldn't have been a better trip. And it was so good for Notre Dame in so many ways, and being embraced by Ireland and Dublin in particular, I think just made it even better.
And of course, it's great that your team played so well against Navy. What kind of carryover did you see from that victory in practice this week?
Well, we didn't want to see a lethargic carryover. We didn't want to see that, we traveled 6 hours and it was going to affect our team. So I can tell you in terms of the way we practiced, our guys had a good week. We're learning about ourselves. It's early in the season, and you don't figure yourself out until you get some more work. But we're learning about each other. We're understanding the things that we have to work on. So, this week was still about a process of developing as a football team.
Now, it was a truly unique experience for everyone involved. There's a home opener every year, but it's usually exciting. And I did wonder a little bit, would the players approach the home opener with the same sense of excitement after what they had been able to experience in Dublin? And from what I've seen, they probably are more excited about tomorrow than they were about last week.
Are you guys excited? How can you not be excited about playing at Notre Dame? If we've got to get our guys excited to play at Notre Dame in our Notre Dame Stadium, we get the wrong guys. And I know our guys want to play the game. They enjoy playing in front of a great crowd, and now it's our job to play good football and get our entire crowd up there and cheering us on.
It is considered one of the great experiences in all of sports, and that is to run out of the tunnel at Notre Dame Stadium as part of the Fighting Irish football team. This will be your third time running out for the home opener. What does it mean to you?
Well, I think, again, just playing in such a tradition-rich stadium that obviously receives football well and all the history that goes along with it. But, once you get out of that tunnel, it's about winning games for me. My best runs out of a tunnel are after a win. And so I want to continue to feel that at home. And we've got to continue to defend our stadium. We've got to win at home. And that's been really an emphasis through our off season and, through our summer conditioning. We worked out in the stadium yesterday again because we want to make the point that, listen, you play games at home, you have to play at a high level and win those games.
And you mentioned you worked out in the stadium on Thursday. That's really the first time I can remember you're doing that since you've been here. But that's one of the things I've liked about watching you and your staff work from afar is that you do change things. You don't have a regimen and everything has to fit into this regimen. You look, examine, and change. And you've changed a lot of things, including what you do away from football to increase the amount of time you can stay with your players on a daily basis.
Well, again, I think it's like anything else. You gauge the job, and obviously Notre Dame has, as its football coach, you have a lot of responsibilities. But the number one responsibility, and the reason why I came to Notre Dame, is that I want to develop our players to be great citizens, to be great players, and to graduate. And so that's been the focus. I've said probably no more than I've said in my entire career about trying to do other things outside of football and really staying focused on our team. So I think at the end of the day, it's still about players and develop them, and I wanted to make sure that didn't distract me in terms of my day-to-day approach.
And there's been a demonstrable, visible change in terms of the way the players obviously feel more comfortable approaching you. Not that they couldn't before, but anytime there's a coach-player, a boss-employee relationship, sometimes there's a wall there. And it's still there to a degree because it needs to be, but it seems like it's much different than it was for the better.
Well, it's our third year together. I think it's like any other organization or business. They're comfortable They understand what we want from them, that if we get on a guy, it's not that we're personally attacking you, but we're going to hold you to a high standard. We're going to demand a lot from you at Notre Dame, and you're given a lot, so a lot is asked for in return. And I think just, our third year with our players, they understand exactly what we're asking for them, and, we're starting to get that in response.
You, of course, were the favorite last weekend. You were supposed to beat Navy, but I think the win was impressive because of how well you played on both sides of the ball. But you've made it very clear it's a process. Your players echoed that. Certainly nothing necessarily to hang your hat on. You want to take the next step. So what specific areas of improvement are you hoping to see from your team in tomorrow's game?
Well, we're going to get challenged in different areas. As you know, we played an option team last week, and certainly from a defensive perspective, you're talking about assignments and discipline, and we want to carry that over. But now you're going to get a balance of run, pass. You're going to have to defend the quarterbacks, and then from our standpoint, we're going to see a lot more different looks. We're going to see a lot more pressures and cover one, and different fronts. So it's going to challenge us. Totally different than it challenged us at Navy. Maybe the travel, the atmosphere, the team that we were playing was a challenge. This week's a totally new challenge for our team, and that's what we play the game for, to see how we respond to those challenges.
And Purdue has 17 starters returning. From a coaching perspective, how do teams with that much veteran talent returning play differently from less experienced teams?
Well, you would hope, and I'm sure Coach Hope is hoping that a veteran team would be, a team that doesn't turn the ball over, that takes care of it, doesn't give up big plays. We're hoping that we change the way they play, and I think all coaches feel the same way, is that you worry about what you can do and what you have, and that's really been our focus. Again, as I said, we're still learning about each other. We're still learning about the 2012 team. This is not the 2011 team. It's a whole different group of kids. So our focus really has been on us and what we do on Saturday.
Now, Coach, we've talked a little bit today about the Stand Up and Cheer initiative, making it clear it's not coming from you. You've been asked about it a lot this week, and you have embraced your responsibility. We play better, they'll cheer more. But let's talk a little bit about how the atmosphere in the stadium on Saturday can help your team.
Well, I think it's like anything else. You feed off of the energy in the crowd, and if it's an engaged crowd, and we've got such a smart crowd as well, they understand the game. They know when they need to stand up and cheer, and when they need to be involved in the game, and understand the momentum of it. So, we've got a group that's obviously understands the game very well. And again, we have to provide those opportunities for our fans to get up and stand up and cheer, and I'm pretty confident we will.
Coach, I've seen your schedule on Fridays. You've got a lot to do, and I know everybody here appreciates you're always making some time to come and visit with the luncheon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Irish head coach Brian Kelly.